while.
Hi. Happy. Why do I always start with happy? It's Harry Carnage. We're back, and we're doing a Valentine's Day special.
Yes, same as last year.
2 years ago, maybe. It's been a while.
You don't need to know that.
I don't know. Anyway, so we're doing a Valentine's Day special, and
Yep.
what we decided to do is to tell some of our, our first date experience out here in LA.
Yeah.
The only difference is that we wrote for each other what the dates said at
What's
different
my
parts.
line?
So
What's
it's
my
kind of a what's my line.
So
sort
much
of thing.
time. We just say what's my
Yeah,
line.
some people don't know what's my line. So
yeah,
anyway,
go research it then. Google it.
So Oren,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me about your first date?
Well, it was my first date was actually it was the first date. It was very exciting. It was in Paris.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was on vacation. I went there for the millennium, actually, the turning of the century.
Nice.
And I went on, it was, met someone, and then at the museum, and they're like, yeah, what are you doing tonight?
Okay.
And we entered the like a nice restaurant, and then as soon as we walked in, we were wearing heavy coats, so I guess the coat guy walked up to me and said, I believe the children are our future.
That's very nice and
And I
insightful.
said, I agree. And then he said, may I take your coat? And I thought, what a wonderful way to greet someone
Yeah, absolutely.
into a restaurant.
Yeah, that's very
and in
nice.
France, out of all places.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Well,
We
they have a
sat-
strong belief in kids.
Yeah, we sat down, and it was a little awkward. And then I said, would you like to tell me about yourself? She said, sure. I saw an old man naked at the gym.
Well, that's very upfront.
Yeah, and I'm like, is he trying to have me take her home that night?
It
It's
seems
like the
that
same.
It's pretty.
She's like I saw an old, but then an old man. Is she telling me? Is she making fun of me? I'm an old man. And then I said, oh, that's interesting. And she said, tell me about yourself. Tell me something about you. I said, I was born in Israel. I'm on vacation here in Paris, and I'm just out here have a good time. And then the waiter interrupted me, because they always do. Right when you have that connection, there's like they always barge in there, and he said, sometimes you feel like not something you don't. And I wasn't surprised, because then I'm like, this restaurant is all about being original.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I told him, sometimes I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then I looked at her and I said, not now, Josephine. And
Josephine.
and then she told me we ordered. Mm-hmm. So the waiter asked her he asked her what would the lady like to drink, and she looked at him and she said, Shazam.
I've heard of that drink. It's
Yes.
a good drink.
And I'm like, I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
I'll have a Shazam. 2 Shazams, please. And if they're right coming this way to you.
Yeah.
And then he walked away, and we just continued with our small talk. And then I asked her what hotel is she staying in, and she got really upset. I don't know. It's like a very honest question, right?
Apparently she likes naked old men.
Maybe she got offended because I assumed she was a tourist, and maybe they're kind of sensitive
Maybe.
about that in France.
Yeah.
Don't call me a tourist here, motherfucker American. They hate tourists.
Right,
They
right.
really do, in Paris especially. And then she's getting real upset. I'm like, what happened? I just I wasn't insinuating that I want to try to bang you tonight or anything. I'm just just small talk. And she stood up and she flinged off the vase that was on the table and the little croissant.
Right.
And she said, angrily, the more you chew, the better the flavor. And she stormed out of there.
Really?
And that was it. And then the waiter came back with, I got heavily intoxicated on Shazams that night, I gotta tell you.
You had hers to drink too.
Yeah. I ordered some more. It was awesome. It's a great drink.
I'll have to try it next time I'm in France.
It's gin with the French sweat. Apparently.
Interesting.
Yes.
Sounds
An
delicious.
old French guy's
Yeah, it
sweat.
sounds delicious.
Yes, it was actually. It's salty and sweet. Yeah, tell me about your day.
I don't know if mine was as exotic. I mean, the first girl I met here in LA, we actually had never been to Venice Beach,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, you know what? Hey, let's go there. She was she was a local. So I was like, all right, let's do that. She wanted to show me all these things. So, I picked her up, and, the first thing she said when she looked at me was, that was awkward. Which it really
right
was.
off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, this is great. This date's going to start out fine.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and it's just because my zipper was down.
Oh, that explains
So,
it.
yeah, so it was a little awkward. But then,
And no underwear, which made it even more awkward.
yeah, well, I had hopes.
Told you you should start wearing those.
They chafe. So we ended up going to Venice and walking around, and it was pretty amazing. I mean, all these crazy people around and everything like that. I think actually one of the performers there ran up and just started screaming at us, and he was he was screaming, "I like doing 7."
What's that mean?
I don't know. He was nuts. He was nuts. I was like, 7, the number 7. Are you show me what 7 is?
Did you think it was some sort of omen about your future life together, or seven kids maybe?
Oh,
right. I don't know.
Maybe.
7 positions or 7.
It could mean anything.
7 stages to Nirvana with this woman. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it seemed nice, but so anyway, so we decided it's all right, this is good. We got hungry. We decided to get some hot dogs on a stick because they're always good.
It's a good choice for a first date.
It is absolutely very
put their mind in the right
exactly.
place. Yes.
So naturally, I let her order because I didn't want to seem too eager with here, have a hot dog on a stick. So she walked up to the guy and said, "Trust me, I'm a doctor," which was interesting. The guy ended up giving us 3 corn dogs, which is pretty cool.
Right, because
yeah, I mean, hey, they
doctor's
help
special
out,
treatment.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, in Venice Beach, of course.
Right. So with all these things that were happening, I mean, the corn dogs, her saying she's a doctor, which she wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh, she wants to play doctor, maybe.
Oh, she wasn't a doctor.
No, she wasn't. That's what was funny. So I was like, maybe we can actually something might go this way. So I try to get a little fresh and everything like that, and I lean in for a kiss, and and she pulls away, and she's like, "I'm not ready because I have a birthmark that looks like you." And I was like, "Wait, what?" It's that's so weird. How? What does that mean? And then the crazy guy runs back, and he's I like to do 7. And I'm like, What's going on?
That's a regular date in Venice Beach, if you ask me.
I know,
that's
right?
very normal.
So I'm like, I have to see this birthmark.
Yeah.
I have to see this birthmark, right? And she's like, no, you can't see it, it. And at this point, I'm like, no, I have to see it. And it turns out the birthmark was on her back.
Yeah.
So I go and I try to lift her shirt up to see it. Of course, it ends up ripping as she's pulling away.
Right.
She starts crying.
Date
she
rape,
gets mad.
basically date rape.
She slaps me, and before she runs away, she says, "That stain is not coming off."
It was a stain. It wasn't a birthmark.
It was, yeah.
So
I mean, I mean, she knew. She knew it was awkward. From the very first second she saw me, she's like, "Well, this is awkward." Yeah. It's like she had an omen with that weird, crazy guy who likes to do.
Well, it's her loss, because
well,
I mean, yeah, same with me. She's I got a load of Shazam. You got, you ended up hanging out with that guy with the 7.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I had some corn dogs, and like all our dates, basically.
Yeah. That's true.
Nothing new. So, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's. May you guys have awesome dates, better than these.
And tell us about your dates, maybe. Maybe start something new. Maybe a little, with our 3 subscribers. Maybe a little,
tell us your 3 dates.
Dialogue. Exactly. Yeah, tell us about your dates.
All right.
Happy Valentine's Day from.
I've had too much Shazam, so I'm going to...
Subscribe.